Brimley for Open Dog.
Okay, there. Okay.
Brimley for loafing dog. You know, when I get the hankering for a hot dog, I go to Clayton, Texas. Just a couple blocks off the square, they got loafing dog. They got the Neely dog, the Mary Sunshine dog, the Casey dog, and the Shirley dog. Why, they even got the Pacer dog, the Brooklyn dog, and the Jim dog. Can't forget the Shane dog, or the Joy dog, and the Monty dog. I like that fool. The Nakia dog and the Braxton dog round things off. Why, they even got a kids menu too.
Loafing Dog, 208 East Chambers Street, Cleveland, Texas. Lunch, catering, or takeout, plus outdoor seating. Phone number is 817-556-1040.
This is Wilford Brimley. And don't forget, loafing dog won't give you diabetes.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leech Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson, Cleveland, Texas. Leech Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Well, you know what time it is? Guys, it's time for the Jobfather. Jobseeker Community Radio is for job seekers, guys. We're here to help you get a job. Me and Dana. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning.
There she is. There she is.
Good morning from the Jobfather, everyone.
All right. All right. All right. I'm wearing the right shirt, my Texas shirt, because Matthew McConaughey said that. You know what university Matthew McConaughey went to? So, guys, today we are on Joco Community Radio. That's Johnson County, guys. Community Radio, joco.com. We are streaming radio as well as the picture that you guys see. The wonderful people that are with us, Clayton Cunningham, Kat Alexander. Thank you, guys. I see Meg Rose with us. The Mez. Mez is with us. Joel Fry. Good morning, Joel Fry. All right. So, guys, I'm gonna read our little public service announcement from Joco. I love Joco.com and what Tiffany Carlin is blessing us to be able to do. So, check this out, guys. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, and it's live on 365, so you guys can tune in anytime. It's live on 365 on the TuneIn Radio app. So, listen, go to it, listen, watch. To simply do that, to go to tunein.joco.com, tunein, Joco, Joco.com, to choose where and how you want to do that. The Joco Community Radio app is now available for free on Android and iOS devices. Simply search your store, check out your lineup, and more on Joco Community Radio. So you know that's inferring that you guys want to go to Joco Community Radio and check stuff out. Okay? This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep for Patriot Claims, guys. It's my buddy Nona Reed, and she is at 844-839-4245. Let me tell you again so you guys can get it. It's 844-839-4245, and her name is Nona Reed, and she's the nicest lady you want to talk to. So, all right. So we got that out of the way, and, let's just begin, Dana, and let's talk to job seekers about how to get a job. We got Clayton with us. Clayton is from Cirrus Aircraft right here in the Metroplex. And Clayton, guys, I love Clayton, and when I first met Clayton's a nice fellow, he's going to treat you right. But Clayton understands networking. He gets out. He got a job. He's paying it forward by letting us know what his company is about. He's letting us know opportunities that are at his company. He is willing to be our contact to make sure those things happen. And you guys, that is what this network is about. Clayton, we appreciate you. And tell us a little bit about what enticed you to want to go to Cirrus Aircraft. Tell us about Cirrus. Tell us what you guys do and tell us what got you all excited about going to Cirrus.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be with you. I've been with Cirrus for about 8 months. We have an office innovation center that I work at in McKinney, Texas. We make general aviation aircraft. We make a single engine jet, and we make a single engine propeller aircraft. And we have 50% of the market in our class of aircraft, and so we're a big vendor in general aviation aircraft. Our headquarters is located in Duluth, Minnesota, and we manufacture the planes in Duluth. And we have engineering innovation centers in McKinney, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, and we have also a location in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we've got job openings in all of those places.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's good news.
That's really good news. Hey, Clayton, what website do you go to? What website do you go to check out these openings that you're talking about?
Sure. Our website, first of all, Cirrus is spelled Cirrus.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the clouds, Cirrus. The website is cirrusaircraft.com.
Awesome. You guys, when you go there, if you see something, reach out to me or Clayton. Clayton, what is a good contact for you?
Well, they can reach out and contact me through LinkedIn. That's probably
that's right, you guys.
The best place to get a hold of me. I post a lot about openings, so you should be able to look me up quite easily on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to connect with you and answer any questions that I can about working at Cirrus.
That's right. When you guys go to LinkedIn and you put in Clayton Cunningham, it's Cunningham, guys. Once you put in that, you see that face right there on the screen that we're looking at right now. That's what you'll see. Mm-hmm. Connect with that fella. Tell him that you heard him on the Jobfather community radio show. And we don't want to just hit that button, guys, when we connect with people. Dana and I were talking about that last week. We want to let folks know why we want to connect with them. It adds a little bit of that relationship equity because we're going to try to build a relationship with that person. If we're interested in connecting with that person, well, come on now, we're connecting with that person for a reason. So we probably should let them know a little bit about why we want to connect with them. And then when they connect with us, we can begin to shoot emails back and forth. I would suggest, if you can, getting together for a coffee or something, talking to that person a little bit, talk on the phone, do whatever it is to connect with that person. Ask the questions that you want to ask that person about what it is that they do. And of course, you're going to tell them again why you connected with them, why you got all excited about them. So, Clayton, what was it that I know you are a wire harness engineer? Wow. So, in other words, Clayton's a smart guy. He puts all that stuff together. So tell us, Clayton, what was it about Cirrus that attracted you, according to your background and all that stuff? Of course they hired you for your background.
Well, first of all, being an engineer, it was I would say it was the technology. Our planes, our aircraft have got some great technology in them. We're one of the only, I believe, the only general aviation aircraft company that makes airplanes that each airplane has its own parachute.
Really?
Really? Yeah. So
wow, that's neat.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
sounding a little safer.
So it was the technology, and then Cirrus is going from being what most people would say being a small company in the Midwest to becoming a larger company, and so it's still got that small company feel, of a company. We work hard and we have a good time doing it, and it's just you have a great feeling to work here. And so it's great technology, great engineering that solves one thing for me, but then it's you really want to come to work every day and be with
Yeah,
these great.
We were celebrating your landing not too long. It was a few months back, and
Yeah,
Clayton is still happy, and he shares with the whole network, guys, the opportunities and things that are going on there. What is priority going on at Cirrus? Now, Clayton, tell us where the headquarters of Cirrus are. Are they here where you are?
The headquarters is located in Duluth, Minnesota,
Minnesota.
and our planes are actually built in our factory in Duluth, and we have an engineering facility here in McKinney, which is where I work, and we also have an engineering site in Phoenix, Arizona, and our planes are delivered and to our customers at our location in Knoxville, Tennessee. So we've got not only engineering positions opening, we have IT, marketing, accounting in Duluth, Knoxville, and Phoenix, and engineering's opening up positions in McKinney.
Are there any engineering or are there any positions that you want to highlight that are open right here in Dallas Fort Worth right now?
Sure. Like I said, as you mentioned, I'm a wire harness design engineer. We have a wire harness engineering staff engineer position open that we've been trying to fill for a while. And so we need to get some more folks to do some wire harnessing for the planes. And then just in the last 24 hours or so, we've had a supervisor position come open in the wire harness department. So if you've got experience to do wire harness engineering, or if you want to be in a supervisor role, we have lots of positions. Like I said, we've got positions in mechanical, electrical, any kind of engineering that you can do for an aircraft. We have open positions.
Yeah, it would be. So a lot of you guys that are looking at positions at maybe Lockheed Martin or Raytheon or some of those other people, some of you guys might want to check out Cirrus and see if there's an opportunity at Cirrus for you. Because that engineering thing, we've got a whole engineering group, and hopefully you guys are listening. Clayton would be your contact, guys, to talk anything. Contact Clayton, connect with him on LinkedIn, ask him questions, specific questions that you have about Cirrus or maybe even the technology, maybe even if you are a wire harness engineer. Wow. Then you can definitely talk to Clayton about how they do things, where all of this is, where the priorities are, and that sort of thing. That's awesome, Clayton. I'm really, really glad that you came and spent some time with us this morning. Tell us, Clayton, about your time in the network. How did you discover? Did you even know there was a Cirrus aircraft before you started networking and all that stuff?
I had a rough idea about Cirrus, and that but I knew they were not. When I started my job search, I knew they were not located in the area where I started. I'm an alumnus of the South Lake Focus Group.
All right.
Alumnus of the Frisco Connect Group, and so I found those groups to be very valuable to me during my job search. I was laid off at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, and went to work for Cirrus at the end of July, this past July. So it was about a 14-month break from for my job search. So the South Lake Focus Group, Frisco Connect, I learned a great deal of how to network, and then network specifically through LinkedIn. And it was that process of how to, once you've had an interview, how you can contact the hiring manager and recruiter, either before or after your interview. That really helped me get the job at Cirrus, and I learned those skills at South Lake Focus Group and Frisco Connect.
You know, I like Jason Hopper's with us, and he's with Jewish Family Services. He provides services to job seekers as well. You guys should connect with Jason, Hopper. And Jason says, I always tell people network or not work. Dana, I like that. I think I'm going to try to remember that one.
It's true. It's not. It's fun.
Jason is an integral part of our network, guys. I would like to encourage you guys to connect with Jason as well. Learn a little bit about the services that he provides at Jewish Family Services, and they service the whole network. You don't have to be a Jewish person. And you know what, Jason, we appreciate you, man. I mean, this network is awesome. We got people like Kat Alexander and all sorts of folks in our network. But you know what about networking? And I'm going to take it away from Jason because we talked about it before. Everybody knows somebody. And if that person cares, and you'll be able to tell whether that person cares when you meet them, you know, everybody knows somebody. And most of those people are more than happy to share the contacts that they have to help you go in the direction that you go. When you're in the network, you don't know where you don't know who you're going to sit next to at a meeting. You don't know what information is going to pop up. But, you know, the Bible says you have not for you ask not. So you get out there in the network and you ask, and it falls on a lot of ears and somebody knows something. So, Jason, we appreciate you. Clayton, there is one thing about you that I remember vividly. In fact, I still hear it sometimes. When you first got a job, we were so happy that you got a job, but people are like, you know, weeks after that, they're like, Clayton Cunningham's not with us anymore. We don't see Clayton. We miss Clayton. And, you know, guys, that when you have that type of a spirit, the paying it forward is awesome, but people will miss you. And seeing you in that spot, you provide a lot of encouragement to people. You don't even know you're doing it. So some people are just made for networking. And those of you that are that are introverted, believe it or not, I'm going to get close to the screen when I say this. I used to be an introvert. I know you don't believe me, Kat. I used to be an introvert when I was in grade school. You guys, if you knew anybody in McGregor, Texas, they would tell you we don't know who this social foster is of late.
I think you've changed at the end of the spectrum, Foster.
I always wanted to be social. I was this little nerdy kid, and I wanted to be social. And you guys that are listening to McGregor, I hear y'all out there laughing at me. And I got a little bit less hair now. Check it out. But I still love my Longhorns. Our Longhorn girls are still in the playoffs. Okay, here I go, sliding down the ways again. So let's get back to Clayton. Clayton, we miss you. And there are people at South Lake Focus Group. I talked to a guy yesterday that goes, you know what? Clayton Cunningham got an awesome job. And I see him paying it forward. And, you know, I personally use you as an example for people when they get a job. Check out what Clayton Cunningham's does. It doesn't take much. Everything is point and click these days, isn't it, Dana?
It's really easy.
And it's pretty easy. Guys, when you get a job, maybe you can be a Clayton Cunningham. And what I mean by that is maybe you can be that point of contact for that particular company that you work for, because we got big old companies around here. All of us on this screen have worked for these medium-sized to larger companies. And you know what? There are more job openings than just the one that we fill. So when we're in the network, network is huge. And when we're in the network, there are people around us that might be interested in working in our company as well. So we can help by working in you know, you already know generally when you get a job at a company, you already know the recruiter, right? So, hey, you can connect. And Clayton, tell us how that works. If I were to see a job at your company and I reach out to you and I say, Clayton, I see this job in your company and here's my resume kind of thing. What would you do at your company, what would be the next step that you take in order
Well,
to help Foster get a job? Well, maybe you don't want to hire me.
well, I would tell them to apply for the position, and send me their resume, apply for the position, let me know when they've applied, and then I will I'm able to reach out to the recruiter for that position and get them to the recruiter their resume and say, Foster has applied for this position X that you're the recruiter for, and here's his resume. So I've helped the recruiter out, and more importantly, I've gotten Foster's resume and name out of the application tracking system.
That's right. That applicant tracking system. Hey, Dana.
Yes,
So,
Pastor.
do you think you're a recruiter, do you think it carries a little bit more weight when someone inside of your company says, hey, we have this opening and this friend of mine applied and I'm going to share that resume with you? Do you think it carries a little bit more value? What do you think about that?
I definitely do. For the most part, anytime that we can reference a individual as a referral and someone internally is able to give a good reference on that referral, it can make a big difference in escalating that candidate for, quicker in the process, especially if that candidate interviews well and is truly in alignment with the skill sets needed for that role. But in my experience, the answer would be yes. I do think it helps, and I do think it makes a difference.
Awesome. I like this process, this networking and getting to where we need to get. I'm bringing that out so that we can understand how this works. Now, I'll tell you as a recruiter, guys, I direct and send and share resumes all over the place. When Dana was at her previous company, I would send folks to her, and Dana would be like, "Oh Lord, Foster sending some." No, I'm kidding.
No, I appreciated it. It's great. Networking is key.
That's how it works. But most recruiters, most hiring managers, the first question that they ask me or Dana or Kat or whoever it is that is representing this person, are they in the system?
Yeah,
Now,
that helps.
Let's talk about that, Dana. Why would they ask us that question?
Most applicant tracking systems, and by the way, that's an excellent question. So recruiters internally, there's a lot of laws around recruitment, and there's a lot of tracking mechanisms around internal practices when handling recruitment processes consistently, ethically, and fairly. So the best way to manage that is when a candidate's in the applicant tracking system on our side of the world, it allows us to appropriately track where that candidate came from and each step in the process, aligning legal standards and industry standards and consistent practices for the candidate.
Yep.
And typically we can't hire a candidate in most organizations that are even small, medium small to large, can't even hire a candidate without them in the system first, because the system then moves the candidate to payroll. So most organizations have a policy around, if the candidate is in the system, we can't continue to work the process until they are. So getting your information in the applicant tracking system is of utmost importance. Then once you've applied, if it lists who the recruiter is, reach out to the recruiter separately with your resume, let them know your interest and that you're applying. If you apply and don't have a contact information, but someone in the company and you feel comfortable asking them to refer you, have that individual send the referral noting that you're already in the applicant tracking system, and that makes you a rock star candidate for making everyone's life easier.
Yeah. With all the technology and stuff that we have, making life easier is very, very needed. Oh my God.
There's so many laws around corporate recruiting and making sure there's diversity, equity, inclusion practices, and we can't do that without tracking everything. So it's of utmost importance to understand that that's today's society, but there's a lot of pros upon it behind the scenes.
That's right. That's right. Clayton Joelle Fry is with us, and she says hello. She says you were very helpful to her and her job search when you were in yours. And I get just because you got a job now, you probably be more helpful. I'm kidding. But we love having Joelle Fry with us. You know, Dana, look who else is with us. Rex Soward is with us.
Hey, Rex. I got to meet Rex in person last week. That was fun, or earlier this week, actually.
Rex now is way out in North Carolina. So Rex, we're glad to have you. Oh, Joelle saying Rex, boom. So you know, I guess she met you at the Frisco Connect. You remember when we used to have those transition workshops? And Joelle, yeah, you were around back then. Wow. I call Rex Dr. Rex. Guys, honestly, Rex, in my estimation, is the subject matter expert for everything that we're doing in job search to try to help folks get a job. So Rex, we appreciate you being with us. And he's now living way out in North Carolina, but you know what? He still contributes to the network. You can't get away. You can't get away from the Jobfather. So getting back to Clayton, we took it away. Getting back to Clayton. Clayton, what was your interview process with Cirrus? How many interviews you had? How quickly did your process go?
Well, I applied, found the position on LinkedIn, applied, and about 6 or 7, 8 days later, the recruiter reached out to me. I had a recruiter interview with the recruiter. Then passed that well, and then had a few days later had a sort of group interview. I interviewed with 5 people, each individually. Had 30 minutes with each of them, so it was easy for them. But it was about 2.5 hours of my time and being on point for 2.5 hours. But it was a good interview. Connected well with each of them. At the end, the hiring manager came on. We did it all through Zoom. Came on and just wanted to make sure that we had that we had answered all of my questions, and wanted to make sure everything was going well, and I felt good about the interview. And then ultimately, they decided to select me for the position and made me an offer.
And there you are. Now you've been with the company now probably 5-6 months now?
Since end of July, so I'm coming up on 8 months.
Oh man, yeah. So hey, after you've been at that company that long, you're qualified to talk a little bit about the company. Okay, I'm hearing our music, guys. Thank you, Clayton. We are going to go to a brief pause here, and we will be back again.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
No, it looks
Hey, there's
fine.
something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you
Yeah.
sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson.
Yeah, it's probably on your end.
817-615-9379, or look them up on the web,
We're looking pretty good.
sharpwindowtint.com.
The show's going good. Kat has a really, really good personality.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Okay, here we are back, guys. I am looking for my picture. I don't see my picture. Hopefully, you guys can hear me just fine. Welcome back. There we are.
Welcome back.
I was looking for the party. There's the party right there. So welcome back to the Jobfather, guys. This is Jobseeker Community Radio. We are streaming radio all around the planet. We're also podcast. You guys can check us out if you go to YouTube. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. And I'm forgetting somebody. LinkedIn, the big one. Okay. We're live on all of those.
Yeah.
Guys, go to YouTube and put in Jobfather. You can see some of our past episodes. But what I want to have you do is make sure that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And we would love to have you guys there. It helps us tremendously to have subscribers on YouTube. And we were talking about Clayton and how Clayton helps the network even after he got a job. And my buddy Meg Rose Caterio is on here with us. And I love Meg. Everybody loves Meg. Everybody loves Meg Rose. And you guys see that Mez out there. That's my buddy Mez. So we appreciate you supporting the network, Nez, the way that you do. And you and Clayton are both just awesome. Y'all have jobs. And that's the whole reason that we're here, guys. We want you guys to get the appropriate job. We don't want you guys to just get another job, because if you get a job that you're not happy in, you know what's going to happen. You ain't going to be there very long. Okay. Now, let me introduce Kat Alexander. See that pretty lady down there at the bottom of the screen to the right? That's Kat Alexander. And guys, Kat has she's a job seeker, and she has a very, very unique background in which she has been a leader in internal operations of when your company sells a service to someone, we have a team of folks that make sure that service is taken care of. And Kat manages those folks and a bunch of other things that we're going to hear. Kat's going to tell us a little bit about her, what she's looking for, and maybe some of the jobs that she's had in the past, so that you companies will know how to apply her skill set. You know what to talk to Kat about. So good morning, Kat.
Good morning, Foster. Thank you for inviting me today. I'm excited to be here.
Yay. I'm glad to get you. You guys, Kat lights up, or wherever she is, she lights up the room in there. And it's awesome to meet someone that has a personality like Kat. So guys, if you hire Kat, you are hiring more than just her skill set. You're getting a whole lot of what I like to call intangibles that go with a person. It's the intangibles that Dana and I actually spend a lot more time worrying about.
That's right.
You know, we can see on the resume that you've had good experience and stuff. We want to talk to you about that experience, but I want to be excited when I talk to you. And Kat's one of those people. Kat, I'm talking too much. You need to be talking. Tell us a little bit about Kat. Tell us the things that you're looking for in your job search and such?
Well, to start, it's interesting because I've, been in operations for a long time most recently as an operations director over managed services from an administrative back end perspective. So, as you said earlier, managing entire teams that provide services within a client's environment. And although I specialize in structured workflow and process engineering, the thing that I really get excited about is developing people. And
there you go.
really,
Yep.
yeah, and really having an opportunity to develop leaders and managers who understand service excellence. Service excellence being, it really starts, at least my experience has been that it starts with, everybody's my customer.
Right.
So, if not just my client is my customer, but people that I report to and peers and people who report to me are my customer, and my goal is to provide an exceptional customer experience with every contact, then I can't lose. I'm providing service excellence in every customer contact. And it's all about the experience and the connection, right?
That's right.
And connecting with people as people and not account numbers and not a service that you're providing for them necessarily.
Amen.
Yeah, actually having a genuine concern for the individual that you're dealing with and, being authentic with them. So, and bringing your best self to the experience as well, right? So, so that's really where, I've taken that and I've been able to craft that into client relationships and relationships with everyone that I work with. And it helps to foster a very positive work environment. And, to your point, unhappy people manage themselves out, right? But happy people stay. And
you guys hear her use that word foster? And then my other word, a relationship. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Relationship? That relationship word is more important than fostering a happy environment.
Yeah.
It really is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep going, Kat. I had to jump in on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm glad it's funny because I almost said no pun intended, but
Yeah.
I didn't go there.
I love it. That's great, Kat.
But as far as what I've done, I've always been in the document management industry, and it's a tough industry to be in. And I'm at a place in my career where I have an opportunity to make a change. And so, about a year ago, I reconnected with my career coach at Jewish Family Services, and that would be Jason Hopper. Yes, who you mentioned earlier. And which, by the way, he's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, he is.
He's positive and encouraging, and at the same time keeps us very focused on the tasks at hand. But one of the things that we started with were the basics, right? Getting my LinkedIn updated, getting my resume updated, kind of getting some things in places so that when we connected the dots, I really had a good foundation and kind of business model for my job search. And the job search, as we heard at South Lake Focus Group yesterday, is a little, I don't want to say tougher. I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe more challenging when you're actually looking at making an actual career transition. So, right out of the gate, I started, I guess, back in November, applying for various positions that seemed of interest to me. And Jason encouraged me to lean into companies where, the things that these companies did were things that I enjoyed in my personal life.
Right.
And I thought, wow, what a great approach in trying to find a new industry and a new career, right? And so, anyway, that led us to, I was applying for positions, I was interviewing for positions, and finally one day in January, he said, I want you to stop applying for jobs. And I thought, well, that's odd. Why would you want me to?
Odd. Yeah, what's up with that?
And he said, and I also want you to turn off all these job notifications that you're getting from these various websites. Okay, this doesn't make much sense to me, but I'll hang in there for this, right? And then he said, I want you to go out and join these 3 or 4 networking groups and start attending them regularly. And he said, the fact of the matter is, once you start having conversations with people, things are going to happen organically for you. And since then, I have had 5 interviews with one organization and 4 with another. And both are completely outside of the industry that I, have spent my career in. And both with companies that I'm either passionate or excited or both about. So, although those things are still in process, he's also helped me understand that I have to just keep showing up in networking groups as if those things aren't currently happening, right? And continue to meet people and continue to connect. So it's actually been a really exciting process for me. I've met a lot of great people and connected with organizations, and I'm being considered by a couple of companies that I would have never dreamed that I could potentially be a part of that, those groups at some point or another. So it's pretty exciting. I'm enjoying it. I'm fond of saying I'm blissfully unemployed.
You are. That's accurate.
Yeah.
Well, it's better to be that and be confident in what you bring to the table than stressed out and worried. And you have a great background and would be an asset at any organization.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she could be industry agnostic with what she brings.
Truly could be industry agnostic.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about operations. When you have an operations background, especially when you've spent a lot of time in workflow, in process modification and improvement. Really, I heard someone say it recently to me in an interview, in fact. She goes, oh, so you're kind of a process engineer. And I'm like, absolutely. And part of what makes me a good leader in process improvement is that I'm a very strategic thinker, but I also I see things at a very granular level. So I see where the gaps are, and I get to fill those gaps and really coach teams through, okay, I can see a gap here. Can you tell me where the gap is, right? And we can have those collaborative kind of meetings where, we can work as a team to make that process better. And then if they're engaged in it, they're also learning it at the same time, which I love to see people learning. So
there's one thing I can say about Kat, and I'm going to speak for Jason Hopper. Jason, you're in the chat, so you just tell me to shut up when I start lying. No, I'm kidding. But there's one thing about Kat. Kat can be in a room, and she is networking with folks, and especially some of the leadership in and around the network. But you will remember Kat. You will have an affinity to get to know and spend a little bit more time with Kat, because when you talk to her, you can tell that she has. This is probably my number 2 word. She cares. Dana and I talk about it all the time. What are these things that cause us to choose Kat Alexander or Clayton Cunningham amongst maybe 10 or 12 other people that we're considering? With similar backgrounds, we're considering. Dana and I are recruiters, so we're going to see a lot of people that have the functionality in their background and stuff that we like. Dana, what do you gravitate towards?
I gravitate to somebody who is comfortable, in their own personality, excellent communication skills, and engaging. To me, it's important to feel a sense of transparency, respect, and just an approach of healthy confidence when I'm working with someone. People hire people they like. So there is a lot of truth around that fact, and it's important to take a minute to engage with the individual that you're communicating with on the other side of the table. That engagement and that relationship building can make all the difference in the results and outcome of the offer process and who they choose as a candidate.
Dana says things a lot more eloquently than I do. Thank you for that, Dana. That's true. There are people, the very people that are with us are people that they exemplified or exuded caring behavior in the network when they were there. So it doesn't surprise me when I see these folks pop up in support of things that we do in the network, like a Meg Rose Kateria, Jason Hopper, Joel Fry. And it's interesting that these same folks are remembered by certain people that are in our audience because we all kind of gravitate towards each other. We understand each other. And when Foster, because I'm a caring person, I'm going to hire another person that exemplifies that caring attitude.
Yeah.
You know, Jason, let's look at all the people that Jason has to face of a week. Jason remembers Cat Alexander. He's got things to say about Cat Alexander. Okay, Foster, you say that Jason remembers Cat. Well, how do you know that? Because Jason is telling me some things that I have noticed about Cat. So you know what? Jason ain't lying. Jason has had some time with Cat Alexander. And guys, when you're in a room and Cat is in there, she's going to be one of those people that you gravitate toward. I'm not just saying that because Cat is my friend, but I'm saying that because Cat's my friend for a reason. But guys, you don't want your boss to not care.
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of getting on a little soapbox here, but Kat just explained to you guys that she is one that is in the weeds of the service. Why is she there? Because she wants to get whatever the company sold to the client. She wants to make sure that the client is happy with what they were sold. And how can we best maximize what we sold to this client? Now, corporate America, I know we run into things as we like to lay people off and all that kind of stuff. And you have a good team, and then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 folks out of your team are gone for no reason. And you know what? Well, Kat then adjusts as she's a leader. Kat has to adjust to that and still provide this caring attitude that she wants to come out of her company, because I think it makes sense. I'm going off again, y'all. I think it makes sense for us to support our companies that we're working for, like Clayton is doing, because if my company continues to make money and continues to exist, I got a job and I'll still be able to feed my family and enjoy going on trips and whatever Clayton. I don't know what Clayton likes to do for a hobby. Clayton, what do you like to do for a hobby? What's your outside of work kind of thing?
I perform in community theater.
Really?
Fun.
That's exciting. How interesting.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to come out of Clayton.
No, I didn't either, and I think that's great.
I could see it. I see that Clayton has that personality.
Oh yeah.
When I first talked, we talked about human stuff. We talked about people stuff. I loved it.
We do.
So I was able to engage in that conversation with Kat, and we talked for quite some time. And I said, Kat, I think I might want to have you on me and Dana's radio show. And
that was a surprise.
And she said, yeah. And we got it. So companies, if you have any question about Kat, I've spent a little time, not a whole lot, but spent some more. It's my intention. But if you have any questions about why Foster is endorsing Kat Alexander so much, I'll tell you why I endorse her. I'll tell you why folks that I know that have met her endorse her. And that's what this part of our show is all about, is to the job seekers that are out there, bring the best job seekers aboard the show, talk about them and get a little bit of experience with how they present themselves and what it is that they do. Kat, is there something else? Is there maybe a situation? This sounds like one of those, what they call them, behavioral interview questions. But is there something, an incident, maybe not an incident, but there's an experience at a company that you had, that you went through, that you like to share with us one time, that will prove to us what we're talking about, your skill set?
Well, I have this one story that I love to tell, and I'll give you the abbreviated version of it. But I had a client who was a law firm in downtown Dallas, and I walked, I would have on-site visits on a pretty regular basis. And I walked into our high-end copy production center in this law firm, and one day, and my site manager looks at me, and he is clearly not happy, right?
Yeah.
So Yeah, he says, I need to talk to you. I said, okay. So we go in the office, and I know right away that it can't be good because he puts himself between me and the door, right? I'm like, okay, tell me what's on your mind. And so he starts talking to me about one of our employees who's been with us for about 6 months, and she's does an outstanding job for us. And he says she's late all the time. She's been late for a long time, several weeks, and it's affecting the team, and she needs to leave her personal problems at the door. And I'm going to write her up. And I said, or we could take another approach. Let's talk about this for a second. So we pull a punch report, and I said, oh, you're right. This is a lot, and it's been going on for a long time. Conversation we'll have at another time, because I should have known about this before now, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I said, let's see if we can approach this from a different perspective. So we brought her in and sat her down, and I said, look, here's the thing. This is way out of character for you. And your personal life is none of my business. But if there's anything I can help with, I'd like to. And she went on to explain to us that she had recently separated from her husband, gotten a second job, and she was coming into work at 10 in the morning, leaving at 7 at night, going to the other job that she had to start at 8:30 and sleeping in her car in the parking lot before she went into work, then leaving that job at 4 a.m., going home, sleeping for a couple of hours, getting up at 6:30 to take her 3 boys to school,
Oh my
coming
God.
back and trying to sleep for a little while before coming back to work again. And I said, gosh, that's not sustainable. That's impossible. How are you doing this? And she said, well, it's not forever. It's only temporary. I only have to do it for a couple more months. And so the shorter version of this is that we ended up modifying her schedule in a way to where she wouldn't lose anything pay wise, but it was more manageable for her. And
that's great.
we kind of flexed her schedule and where we could give her a little more time off, where she could, not have to burn all of her PTO time. And I told her, I said, okay, so you've got 2 more months at this other job. The only deal breaker here is that you cannot have 1 day of being late. And if you have a major problem, I need to hear about it well in advance. So
Right.
that
Yeah.
the rest of the team, and I have time, to make sure that your site manager can compensate for the loss in a head count. So this particular person ended up 8 months later applying for the site manager's position at that location. She went up against 7 other people, 5 who were tenured site managers with the company, and she ended up winning that position.
Oh, that's great.
And not only did she win the position, but 6 months later, sitting down in a quarterly business review with the client said, I have to tell you, Tiffany is the absolute best site manager we've had in 20 years.
Wow.
And this is a tough customer. This customer was not happy about our services in the beginning. So she really won the day. But it was a great opportunity to work with a couple of different people to demonstrate, here's how we want to approach this. We want to approach this from a people perspective, not from a rules perspective necessarily, right? Let's lead with our best selves and see how we can be of service in this first, because if we can be in service in this, then the rest of it's going to take care of itself.
It will.
Yeah. It's all about the relationships. It really is.
Oh, say that again.
It is all about the relationship.
100%.
Yep.
See, I'm not the only person that believes in that word. That's awesome. Everything I do in the network is behind relationships. Guys, I'm gonna say something, and my buddy Mez can attribute to this. Guys, I do not introduce you guys to people that I have on LinkedIn unless I have, y'all know what I'm going to say.
Relationship.
How am I going to tell anybody about Dana Gingerich if I don't know Dana Gingerich?
Yeah.
Why are we endorsing and recommending people that we don't even know on LinkedIn? Now I know I'm meddling, y'all. I know I'm meddling, but come on, let's be real about this. As my little cousin Craig says, "Come on, son." And
come on, son. Come on,
guys,
son.
if we do things the right way, it will show. When you meet a Cat Alexander, You know, she has wonderful stories to say. She's got this big old smile, and she's going to captivate you. But you can tell that this lady cares about what she's doing, and she's blessed enough to be in a leadership position in corporate America. I would work for Kat Alexander in a New York minute. And you know, in corporate America, we're taught so many things. We got so much technology to tell us the robotic things of how to do everything. But where are we as people? You know, my God, Jason, I see you, man.
Question of the day.
Go, Dana. Go, girl.
Question of the day.
Yeah. Dana and I spend time. Yeah. We're co-hosts on the show. Dana's my boss. That's okay.
No, you're my boss.
But you know what? Dana and I spend quite a bit of time outside of the show. We get dinner. We may even go to a movie. But we're talking about what we're doing. We're talking about our lives. We're talking about how we can utilize the gifts that God gave us to do our jobs. Well, my job is this one right here, and to add value to the network. And
it's about connection.
Yeah.
It is all about connection and authenticity. That's how you create those relationships and nurture them, I think. So
we can talk all day long, but then
good.
You know, then you got a Clayton. Clayton doesn't say a whole lot, but Clayton does it. Clayton walks it out, and everybody's like, "Who is this Clayton Cunningham? I need to connect with Clayton." So awesome. And then Foster's going, "You need to connect with Clayton Cunningham," you know?
Yeah.
And Jason Hopper and Meg Rose Quiterio and all of these people. Joe Fry, I haven't forgotten you. You're our number one lady. But guys, they're number one. There's the wonderful people. When you take the time to network, you will, yes, you're going to meet wonderful people, but you're going to meet some of the best friends that you're going to have in life. You're going to meet people that you're going to keep up with for the entire time.
Yeah.
I watched Dana Gingerich. I think, if I get this correct, I think I met you at Careers in Motion, didn't I?
You did. I was speaking that day. I was doing a presentation on resume writing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Guys, that's something else. You guys that are needing help with resumes, you might want to connect with Dana and ask her a couple of questions about your resumes and stuff.
Oh.
Okay, I hear the music, guys. We're done. That's our show. We start having fun, and then we got to go.
Bye, everybody.
On the Jobfather. Bye-bye.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logoed designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo.
You go. I understand.
View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design, and we'd be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have